Another episode I wasn't planning on doing, but popped up, and I figured why not. I don't know where I saw it. CNBC or Bloomberg might have actually mentioned that he was back in the top five. I came across this website as a backdrop. Never been on the site before, but so here's Buffett back in the top five, and I've been seeing a whole bunch of like memes on Instagram lately when I'm just doing some research on what's trending, and it talks about how Buffett missed out on Bitcoin and he missed out on Tesla, and they went off and named off all these things that Buffett missed out on, and then because of it, it's he's obviously a forking idiot because he didn't invest in Bitcoin early or Tesla, for example. And I think there's so much to learn from that mentality, from careers to investing to many things in life, where the people that try to ride these short-term trends usually can't make a 40-year history out of it, of being constantly successful. Does anyone ever step back and say, wait, hey, he's still in the top five now after all these years and 91 years old? That track record means everything. Anyone can have a good season once in a while. Anyone can believe in something and get lucky. And the stock or the coin doesn't go up because they believed. It went up because it went up. There's a lot of things you believe in that don't work out. But do you understand what it takes to stay on top for this many years and to accumulate and to hang on to this much wealth? There's always going to, hindsight's 2020. It's always easy to say, hey, you should have bought that after it went up. We can sit around and do that all day about many things. I'm saying that about oil stocks right now, as I'm sure a hell of a lot of you are too. Um, to manage the amount of money that he's managing, like you don't realize like how hard it is to, sure you can manage $1 million or $5 million. You know what it's like. You can't just take the billions he has. When you look at the liquidity of what's out there, you have to be very strategic. The guy's still in the top five as of today, and people still want to say he was an idiot because he didn't get in on Tesla or he didn't get in on Bitcoin. I think Homeboy's doing just fine. And can you keep your wealth for 4 or 5 decades is the question. I say that about careers. People jump around all the time, trying to get an extra few thousand here or there. Kane and I talked about this on another episode. We talk about it all the time. It's something I've been talking about for 20 years. It's, you hop around in your 20s and 30s trying to get the biggest title and the most money possible. And then the second half of your career, from 40 to 60, it's a downhill run. And there's this curve, and Kane, showed it, where you kind of peak in that late 30s, early 40s. And then your earning potential goes down. So while you're playing that game to make a few more bucks in your 20s and 30s, you end up costing yourself hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars between the time of 40 and when you retire. There's a very different way to play things when you're trying to win for decades. People are not thinking about the long game anymore. They're trying to get rich quick. They're trying to make these fast plays. They're trying to do it easy. And what Warren Buffett is showing you is if you're very strategic and you do the planning and you have the patience and you play the long game, you keep winning forever. And here he is at 91 years old, still in the top five. From Kathy Wood to Michael Burry to all these other people that you see him on Bloomberg, that they've come and gone. They all have a hot year or two. They made one big play. There's a guy that played on the Detroit Tigers, and I can't even pronounce his name right because I can't pronounce crap. I think it was Alex Avila. And in one season, he hit like 300 and something. For the next 5 years, and I don't really watch baseball, so I could be wrong. I want to say for the next 5 years, his batting average was not that great afterwards. Even 5 years later, they were still talking about that he has the ability to bat 300. No, he got lucky one time, 1 year. And it's funny for how long you can ride on that one success. But can you do it every year? Can you bat high 200s, low 300s every year, all the way through? That is what Warren Buffett does. He consistently puts up the numbers. He's not trying to like double in 12 months. I also talk about wealth preservation. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's in the NFT game. He's doing well, making money at it. Not something I'm really messing with right now. And I talked to him about there's a reason why the people I know that have 20, 30, 40, 50, or $100 million, they're not really messing with NFTs. The celebrities do it because it works for them. The people I'm talking to are doing massive real estate deals. They're doing big developments. They're buying malls, strip malls, developing, investing in other assets. Because they want to make sure they still have their money 20 years from now. There's a whole lot of things that are going to come and go with technology. They might not. The thing is, things don't have to make sense to make money. People got to get that through their head. Coins might not make sense to you, but they can make money. Tesla stock might not make sense to you right now, but it makes money. NFTs might not make sense to you, but they can make money. It doesn't have to make sense to make money. But a lot of times, those are the things that end up costing you the money in the long run. So the people I know that have a lot of money, they're not messing with a lot. They dabble in coins and that stuff, but they're out buying solid assets that they know aren't going to depreciate in value, that are going to keep bringing in their income. They're going to preserve their wealth. The last thing you want to do is after you get the money, is lose the goddamn money. You want to keep stacking that money. The goal is, they say in S&P 500, if the numbers are decent, you can double your money every 4 to 5 years, something like that, without even targeting like massive returns, 10, 12%. Don't quote me on that. If you got $10 million and you can turn it into 20 in 5 years, and then another 5 years, turn that 20 into 40, that doesn't sound that bad. The problem is we want to go buy a coin or an NFT and do that in like 8 months, and it's not really working for some people. People are making money on it. The thing is, are you going to have that money 20 years from now? So that is what Buffett does. These are the people like my buddy who's, 30-something years old, who's only worked at 2 Fortune 500 companies in his whole career, but he's out there crushing everybody because he mastered skills and he kept moving up. His value, top 50 companies right now want to hire the guy. They know that he's stable, he's going to stick around, he's mastered the skills. You don't want to hire the person that's been bouncing around every year. It's like, so I'm going to bring you in for a year and then you're going to be gone. Play the long game and be smart about it. There's a time to leave and then there's not a time to leave. There's a time to play smart stocks and hang on to them. There's time to dump them. It's just, you can't look at Buffett and say he's dumb because he didn't get into Bitcoin when it was early, and he didn't think about how many people bought into other coins early and lost their ass, right? Even on the Tesla stock, we're picking these outliers here. Buffett's not picking outliers. He's looking for guaranteed winners. So at 91 years old, he can still be in the top 5 wealthiest people in the world. So you want to argue that it hasn't worked for him, go ahead. It's hard to stay on top forever. He's done it for a very long time inconsistently. So if you can consistently keep winning every year, that means something. Anyone can be that baseball player that bats 300 one year. Can you do it for a decade is a question. So anyways, that's all I got for this one. Be steady. Play the long game. Don't get emotional with short-term plays and get rich quick schemes and like Wall Street one, what was it, Lou Manheim said or something, quick buck artists come and go in every bull market. Can you preserve your wealth for 4 or 5 decades? I don't want to be broke when I'm 70. That's how I look at it. Once you get the money, you got to keep it in the bank. Anyways, that's all I got for this one. I'll catch you on the next one.